Hello, welcome and welcome back to the Peppers and Glow podcast. My name is Pamela, your host, and thank you once again for tuning in today. And I have no ask today, but to really just say thank you so much for the love, support that you guys are giving me. And today we are doing another wedding talk. I have a guest in studio, and her name is Beaulah. It's not Beaulah, it's Beaulah. And Beaulah, thank you so much for honoring my invitation and coming onto the podcast.
Thank you for having me on the broadcast.
Oh, thank you
It's
so.
actually Beaulah.
Oh, Beaulah. I always get it wrong, and she's always correcting me. But anyways, but thank you so much. Really, thank you. I have a few icebreaker questions that I would like to ask. So the first question would be, what was the song that you listened to on your way here, or what were you listening to on your way here?
I was on a phone call.
Oh, you're literally the whole way.
Yeah, I had to call two people.
Oh, okay.
Sorting out something, so I wasn't listening to a song.
But what's your typical car routine? Like when you get into the car?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'll play whatever is there, but if I don't like the song, I'll skip the song.
Can you drive like in silence? Like
Me and my thoughts, thinking to myself.
Oh,
Very nice, actually.
interesting. What's your morning routine like? Like from the moment you wake up, how is your morning routine?
Sure. I wake up at 4
Uh-huh.
a.m. So what I do is I put on pots, making a lot of noise in the house because I like my food fresh. So I prepare some vegetables and just a meal that I want. So probably like 5 meal preps that I take along to work. So at 4 I put on, and then while the pots are doing the cooking, I'll do some exercises. Not too much, just sit-ups, squats, and then and then around about 5 I'm sure to be done with the cooking and exercising, and then I take a shower, get ready, and then 6:20, 6:30 we leave the house for school run.
Yeah. Interesting. You are into yoga, right?
Yes.
Yoga is part of your morning exercises.
Yoga per se, personally, it's on Saturdays.
Okay.
Where I do it with a group of ladies.
Oh, okay.
At the village. But my exercise is mainly just to work on, keeping fit and just waking my mind up. Yeah, and then on Mondays and Fridays, I go for swimming. Like this morning, I'm swimming at 7 o'clock. That is why we leave the house so early.
Early. Oh, interesting. Swimming, yoga.
Hiking on Sundays.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. It's a good thing to keep fit because it's not just for weight loss, but it's for mental well-being as well.
Yes.
100%. Ah, interesting. So you are a morning person, one would say.
Very much, because I can sleep at 7, 8. So I can wake up early and just be energetic.
I'm training myself to be a 4 o'clock. I am a 5 a.m. girl, but I'm training myself to be a 4 a.m. girly because of my schedule at the moment. It requires me to be up earlier to get things done before I leave for work.
Yes.
So I'm busy training myself to be a 4 a.m. girly.
That's nice.
Okay. What's your favorite color and why?
Blue, because it's beautiful. Yeah.
Have you always liked blue from like
since I can remember? I have not really changed colors and be that person that's like, now I got a favorite color.
Why are you calling us out like that?
Sometimes they say as you grow, you get to see things and start liking things. But then you find those people that are just constant. They just have what they like and they stick with it. Yeah.
Blue is a beautiful color, I think. Yeah. Please tell us more about your love story. What was your first impression when you met your husband? How was it like? Please, we've got the whole day.
Taking me back.
Please.
Memory lane. Okay, met this young guy in church. Saw him on a Thursday, attending a service. Thursdays, by the way, love therapy. So right day to meet someone.
True.
So you see this guy, and then the girls got talking. Who's this new boy? Do you think he's young? Because he looks way younger than his age, actually. So for me, I was observing from far and just.
Was he new in town or what?
Yeah, basically we both new in town.
Okay.
I was new in Walvis Bay, just arrived Tuesday, and then he also just arrived on the Thursday.
Okay.
So we both met. So it's like we were
We've
sent
still-
to meet there. Yeah, saw him, and then I was like, started observing to see what type of person he is. Of course, I stayed in Walvis Bay for 3 weeks,
Okay.
so we never really had a conversation. Yeah, and then I left for work in Bentuk. After some months, we met again. Yes, in Bentuk. This time I thought, okay, maybe he's just here for something. He's gonna
Go
leave
back,
again. But then, surprisingly, he was here. And then, as time went by, we started now taking cab together. Right after church, we would take cab, me and then two other friends plus him. So we were four that would take cab together. So then we would organize some, who wants pizza, who wants kapana. So as time went, we would be like, yeah, I'm doing kapana, or you doing pizza. So we would do those type of stuff. So as we would do that, we would then sit down and we would have conversations, just listening to the person. What was your childhood like? And then we'll talk about things at home. So you get to see, there's actually similarities with me and this person, because he lost his mom when he was just 9 years old. I lost my mom when I was just 7. Both our dads were not in our lives, and just getting to see this person actually.
Also, that kind of connected you together as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also just seeing this person is actually calm, talks a lot just like me, but people don't think that way. But yes. So yeah.
Wait, so when you guys were doing the kapanas and pizzas, did you have interest in him, or did he have interest in you, or was it just like friendship?
I would say I had interest. I knew my interest. I
Okay.
didn't know his interest. He never mentioned it. He never said anything. Because we would even tease about the girls that would like him. So we'd always be like, is this girl? Why are you not checking that girl out? So we would tease him, we'd laugh about it, and then in a way you also want to know, but he's also not saying anything. He's not giving up or saying or showing that there is interest or anything. Up until the one moment where now he asked me to join him for their work function that they had, a year-end function. So he was like, he texted me on Facebook, like, would you like to join me for our year-end function?
Facebook? Didn't he have your number?
He didn't have my number.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why I'm saying there was no that sort of interest shown. Say, I want your number. I want to get talking. No. So it's like Facebook. Maybe I was also having a tough phase. I don't know. But then he texted on Facebook, and that's when I was like, yeah, sure. Then we're like, okay, where do we meet? At church on Facebook still. And then we're like, okay, at church, 6:00 sharp. We get kept from there. That was now. And then I was like, oh, okay, we got there. And then the colleagues were like, who is she? And then he's like, no, she's just my friend from church. And then they're like, no, but it was strictly partner or spouse. Someone that you are, in a serious relationship. Okay. And I'm like, what's happening here? And then at that moment, it struck. And I was like, okay.
Because he came from a zero.
Exactly.
Not expressing himself to be like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So that was...
How did you feel when the colleagues were like, it was only strictly partners or married people?
In my head, questions like, okay, is this now considered? Does he like me? Does he not like? Because I can also not jump to conclusion and decide, oh, okay, no, this person has now decided I'm the one. So I was just like having questions, but I never asked. Actually, I never asked. So I was just like, oh.
So how did he come to the point of telling you and like, I like you, or who approached who?
So he went to a pastor and then he told the pastor, no, I like this lady and I would like to marry her. So one Saturday as I was knocking off, coming out of church, and then the pastor was like, come here, you're not the girl. And I'm like, what girl? And then it's like, no, there's this guy, he's saying he wants to marry you. Who's this guy again? And then I'm like, is it Moses? And then he's like, oh, so you know. Like, I'm just wondering who else. So he's like, call him, call him, call him. And then at that time I had his number, so I called him like, no, pastor said you should come. So he came, and then he's like, oh, tell the lady what you told me. So he's like, I told the pastor I want to marry you. I was like, okay. Yeah, then we got, advice, and then he said you guys can talk. Yeah.
But how was the first date like for the both of you?
It was actually nice because I told him that, I come from a very small town called Chumep. So basically I was like, in Chumep there was a spare, but I never got a chance to even taste the spare ribs. So I was telling him, I've never tasted spare ribs. And like, what? You never tasted spare rib? Ah, yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna take you out to Spare. So he took me out to Spare, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Is it the one in town?
It's actually the one in Maromo.
Okay.
We went to the one in Maromo, and poor guy, he spent his whole last money because he was trying to impress me. He even took the 1 kg spare ribs cover for himself that he couldn't even finish for that day. That's so funny, but actually very nice. I think from that moment on, I fell in love with spare ribs. So he knows anywhere I go, my order is spare ribs. So I was glad to at least have
experiences with him.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, on your talk, did you? How do I phrase this? Did you get to know one another?
Basically, with the two of us, we would speak a lot on the phone.
Okay.
So we'd have a lot of conversations on the phone. Say if I had a busy day at work, and we would attend church, and when we get home, we would call and then have conversations, ask anything you want to know, and then so basically we spend a lot of hours talking. So our would finish, mine would finish, and you get a second card, you make aware, and then that's nice. Days where you switch off. No, you switch off. Exactly, and then you will wait, and then you're like, okay, because I'm not a night person. He's a night person, so he's like, before you sleep, no, let's make a prayer before you sleep. So one of us will pray. So we had chances to say, are you praying or am I praying? So then we would make a prayer before we sleep. So sometimes we make the prayer just so before I fall asleep, because I'll find myself most of the time falling asleep, or I'll find my phone there and I'm gone. So we spoke a lot. We asked about things, and then we got to know each other.
So you fell asleep while you were talking, and he still wanted to talk to you the next day.
Yes.
Sweet. So the guy was determined. He knew what he wanted. Really, because some guys would be like, she's not interested. Yeah. She'll sleep. But at the same time, also he understood that you were a morning person, not a night person. So.
And also just giving me the space, because there are times that I would say I just want to spend this time with me and God and just read my Bible. So there will be times on a Saturday where I just want to close my door and just be indoors and just spend time with God. So you would respect that, not someone that's like, where are you? Why are you not answering my call? Why are you not talking to me? So that he also gives me the space, and just know that, okay, she wants to have her space for herself.
And I'm sure you respected that also from him.
Very much. As well. Because I'm just like, if you want to do something for someone, or you want someone to do it for you, you should also do it for them.
How did you know that he was the one for you? Yes, you liked him, yes, all that, but how did you know that, okay, yes, this is somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with? Because you could like somebody, but as you get to know the person, you're like, this is not really what I want. But how did you know that he was the one for you?
Basically, with me, it's like I gave birth when I was 20 years old. So I had a child, and then when I met him, I was 2016, late 2016, and then 2017, I decided then to go get my daughter from Chumep to come stay with me. And at that time, I also had a demanding job. So I was working at Grove Mall. So at that time, I had to work Saturdays, Sundays.
Okay.
But for me, good thing is I spoke to the management, so I wasn't working on Sundays. But on Saturdays, I was required to be there. And you know how Grove hours are very crazy. You're there up until 5 o'clock. Yeah. So now at some point, I was like, what do I do with my daughter on this weekends? So he was like, I can take care of her. I don't have a problem taking care of her. So immediately, the moment that he could show that he's ready to be a father to my daughter, I was like, okay. I mean, this person is, not just there for fun, not just there to try out things, but he's really serious. Because even just months after we met, he was like, I want to get married. I'm serious about this. And then I was like, okay.
So he wasn't like afraid to hear that you have a child, right? It was like,
nah. The moment I told him, I was like, when is she coming? Because the time I was first at Maromo 2016, before I got the promotion to move to Grove.
Grove, yeah.
So now when I was at Maromo, there was a time my mom was passing by. So she came with my daughter. Yeah. And I was telling him, no, she's coming. He's like, no, I need to meet her. Please make sure. So the whole time he's just asking, are they not here? Are they not here? Are they not here? So when my mom came, she was quickly doing some shopping, so she left her with me. And then he's like, I need to see her. I need to see her. So it was so weird. Like you would think, like, because most of the time women would want to hide their kids because you are just afraid that, this person might not want someone that has a child. But with him, it was like he was more eager to know her or to see her. And to meet her.
And he is the one initiating. So I think,
which was very easy for me.
So that was like, okay, this guy is the one. Oh, I must spend the
I
rest.
mean, what else?
Did he did he propose like go on one knee, or you're dating with the intention to get married?
Mm-hmm. We were dating with the intention of getting married.
Yeah.
So on one Thursday
Mm.
in the love therapy, he was like, "Yeah, I want to propose." So
Mm-hmm.
he went on his knees, and then there's a whole video that I go back to.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Do you remember the words? Okay, now that you've been watching the video, so you would know the words that he said.
Sort of like, he said, God, marriage is a what? A word that he says, God says marriage is it's a word he used, and then he said, "Yeah, would you complete me so that we can?" Yeah.
Yeah, you're
like
paraphrasing, so I understand. Oh, beautiful. Okay, he's a romantic.
Not per se, but yeah. And then we went for dinner afterwards. We went to Nando's, and then we had some dinner there. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. When the moment he proposed, what was the first thing you did? Did you tell your mom? Did you tell, or they already knew that, okay, they are dating to get married? What did you do? What was the first thing you did?
I think we just went for dinner, and that's it. I'm not a person that likes, I got engaged, and I think most of my friends and people that knew me were also in church on that day, so they also knew about it. So there was no one call and be like, "I got engaged," or
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So wedding planning. How's wedding planning like for you?
Planning.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do something,
Mm-hmm.
but I think at the moment also finances were not allowing. So I remember approaching you, asking you for a quotation. I'm looking at the price of that quotation. I'm like, is this girl crazy?
Our price is that crazy?
No, prices were not crazy. It's just obviously because
time.
now you are saying it's a wedding and you say 50 guests. Obviously, you would. Then I look at it. I'm like, this is not gonna hit my budget. So, and then as time went on, I was just more focused on, our wedding attire. He decided what he wanted to wear. And then we had pictures. So we were like, okay, then we are getting this. So we started now preparing with the attire, got that ready, and then we're like, okay, I'm not worried. Whatever happens, happens.
Wedding reception, photos, pictures, makeup artist, nothing. You didn't.
Not really my focus, but I did contact Hannah for makeup, and then I booked with her, and then the photography. He had then a friend that was at that moment a photographer that was going to take the pictures, which was fine, but we just didn't have time because of the whole chaotic. The day went by.
Okay, how was the day like? If wedding planning was not much, how's the morning? What's the morning like for you? The day like, this is my wedding day. I'm getting married today.
I just got up, took down my dress, and be like, someone needs to steam this for me. And then I left the house to go do my hair. Getting there, sure, there was a line because the lady had a special, and then there were also bridesmaids and other ladies. No, she didn't do bookings because of the special. I think she didn't want to do the booking, so she was just taking people as they come. So I thought I was the earliest, like being there round about 9 o'clock or so. But then you find a line. So
9 o'clock. Oh, you got married in the evening.
You got married in the evening on a Thursday.
Okay.
So yeah.
On a Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. So I get there, and then there's a line, and then I waited, and then I think I started round about 12. And then the moment she also started doing my hair, it was pressing. The pressure was just in my head started paining now. And then I'm like looking at the time. I'm like, can we please just rush? Because I think she finished around about 2 because the time we didn't have weeks. So it was a whole sew-in. So at around 2, she finished with the sewing, and then I had to now wait because I need to go for styling. And the lady that was styling was busy styling someone else. So I waited.
But why was it full though?
Because
it's a special. So
there was a special, and another thing is, it was the day I was getting married. There were 2 other ladies getting married. Okay. So everyone would have gone for the special and do their hair because it was a whole.
So you guys all found each other there.
Actually, so yeah, and then I did my styling, finished at around 4, and then I needed to now go for makeup, which I couldn't make it because now my booking was around about 2. Yeah. So I couldn't make it so I had to see her like stressing. I'm like, ish, am I gonna get makeup today or not? So the lady's like, there's a lady who's just next door. She also does makeup. Yeah. I'm like, skeptical, but I had to go with it because time was not allowing. So at least we did the makeup, turned out good, and then I had to get cab now and get home just before 5. Yo, first thing they're like, where were you? You need to dress up.
Yes.
And then I just
5
quickly
and you are getting
up.
married at 6. So
Exactly. So I dressed up quickly and then we left. We were meant to be there at 5:30, but we were there earlier. So yeah.
No, I'm just thinking of the logistics in my head right now. I mean, you're supposed to be at church by 5:30, right? And you finished doing your makeup and hair at 5 o'clock. How far is the place from where you did your makeup and in your place?
Not so far.
Okay.
It was like what, 15 minutes?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I was able to still.
Okay. And then when you got to the church, how was it like for you?
Surprised to see the guy there.
What do you mean surprised to see the guy there?
One thing, he's not punctual.
Okay.
Yes, never punctual. So I was like, is he gonna make it? Because I was like the previous night, just before we slept, I'm like, please be there on time. Please be there on time. He's like, I'll be there. So when I saw him, I'm like, oh, okay, he's here.
Yeah.
Earlier, because I think he was way before me. He was already there.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. So yeah, that's actually nice. And then we've got a moment to just take some few pictures before we could now do the whole entrance.
Yeah.
So we took pictures just outside with a nice burner that had some flowers and all that. So at least I've got pictures of that. Because we couldn't take pictures because of the hectic day.
Yeah. How was it like walking down the aisle? Were you like, I'm getting married? Or were you like, what happened? Like my makeup was late, or did you forget all about that? How are you feeling?
For me, it was another moment that was also interesting. Was that as we were supposed to walk down the aisle, there were, like I said, there were two other brides that were also getting married. So now they had people to walk them down the aisle. And then I'm sitting there, and then this one friend comes and is like, who's gonna walk you down the aisle? I'm like, oh, my father didn't come. So she's like, wait here. So she just went, grabbed her brother. The brother is tall, so he's like, wait here. She went to get her brother. And then the brother came, and then the brother had to walk me down the aisle. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? At the same time, it was just good to see that there are people actually willing to step up and just, yeah. So it was a memorable time for me. Yeah. It was really sweet. I didn't feel left out. I didn't feel sad because of the moment, but rather it just, bloomed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is so sweet, thoughtful, and very considerate. And how did you feel like that your father was not there? Or did you already know that he was not going to be there? Or how was it like for you?
The thing is, a month before I got married, my dad already sort of like started having funny vibes. So I was just like, is this man going to come? But I was still hopeful. But at the same time, also not having so much expectations because I didn't want that disappointment. But then when the day came and he didn't come, I was like, okay, nothing new anyways.
Okay, but at least your friend's brother was there to walk you down the aisle.
Yeah, it's good to know that there are people willing to be there and just step up. Because he would have also said no. Why would I walk Beaulah down the aisle?
Yeah. How was it like though when you're walking down the aisle? Were you like, oh wow, or were you thinking I'm gonna get married? I don't know if you can remember the thoughts that came into your mind.
I don't know. I don't remember the thoughts. Really, not at all.
Not at all. Eh?
No.
Or do you remember anything from what the pastor or the bishop said?
I know I was very nervous. The bishop was also saying, some of you are very nervous.
Are you nervous?
Exactly. And my husband was like, because we were teasing us. We were like, we're going to see who's going to be nervous. Yeah. And I was like, it's going to be you. It's not going to be me. And then all of a sudden it was now me. And then I'm like, yeah.
Why were you nervous?
I don't know. For me, I actually don't like being in front of people.
Okay.
A crowd. Really funny. I mean, people find it weird because they feel like, you talk too much.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't care. But put me on a stage with people, yo, guys.
You're free.
I once did a debate. So So just having people stare at you,
Yeah.
it's like I just sort of like, hey, are they looking at me? Am I fine?
Were your legs
you
like
know,
going weak?
not
No?
necessarily the legs,
Okay.
but my arms, because he
Uh-huh.
was now holding me, so I think he could also
Yeah.
feel that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this lady is nervous here. So yeah, I think it was the crowd and just thinking of people that everyone's staring at
Yeah.
you.
Because I mean, you're the bride and the couple, everybody.
And that's why I avoided the Saturday wedding.
Oh, because you would have been alone in
Yes.
everyone's eyes. At
All
least
the
if
attention.
you were three, you guys were three, right?
Yes.
So we could
At least choose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember anything that the bishop said? No? I ask because a lot of people don't remember what the bishop
I thought I would remember,
but you were nervous, so
exactly.
I could understand.
Yeah.
They always go, I just remember the pastor or the bishop saying you may kiss the bride.
Well, for me, I remember the vows that we had to make.
Yeah.
We had to repeat them.
Yeah. Okay.
But the message, I have to think deep to remember what the message was specifically for us.
Okay.
Now
but at least you remember the vows. So
Yes.
that's something that you have to keep. How is it like when the bishop said you are now husband and wife?
Beautiful feeling.
Yeah,
like it has happened. Okay.
What did you do after that?
After the whole
after the wedding ceremony.
So we were there, and then like I said, we had 3 other ladies. So the one lady was now sort of like we're in the youth. At that time we were not close friends, but then we were also friend like sisters. So now then we were like, oh, where are you guys going? What are you guys gonna do? And then we were like, no, there's a little small party at my house, or rather at her sister's place. So we then said, okay. Then they said, if you guys want to join, it's fine, you can come along. So we're like, okay, why not?
Oh, so you guys joined the other couple?
Yes.
You went and were you wearing your wedding attire?
Exactly, as we were straight from church.
Oh, so wasn't it weird, awkward? No. Like we have 2 people wearing this? No,
it was very nice.
You didn't even have time to change because it's not your reception.
I mean, if you go home, would you really want to change? And then I'm not that person, so let's just go finish once off, and then we can go.
How was it?
It was very nice. So people around. We had some dinner with laughter. We spoke. It was really nice. Then I think we left for like 10 o'clock around there. Yeah, we went home.
Never heard anyone in my entire life.
Bride joining another bride.
Exactly. Did you have a wedding reception for yourself?
On a Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is uncle's.
So you got married on a Thursday,
yes,
Friday, and then Saturday you had the wedding reception. How was the wedding reception? Did you plan it, or were you involved, or were you just?
I mean, the family just wanted to do something for us,
okay.
So they prepared everything, and then they said you can invite guests that you want. So we sat down and we just made up a small list. So I think around about 20 people. And then we send out the invite and say you are invited. You can come join us. And then it's really nice on the Saturday. Intimate, just few people. It was nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Were you wearing your wedding attire?
Well, isn't that obvious? No. I mean, with the Bamboo tribe, you need to appear in your wedding attire, and you have to do a whole walk. So it was in Banaida, and then now we had to stop by Burman and then walk all the way. And I'm like, what is this? Why do I need to do this? The whole time I'm asking, why do I need to do this? Why do I need to walk with my whole wedding gown all that distance? What's the purpose of this?
Are you guys not of the same tribe?
No.
Yeah. Okay. It's understandable.
And I never attended any wedding in the north or anything, so I didn't know that was a thing. Because we were standing in the car for a while, far away from the house, and I kept on asking, but why are we standing here? What are we waiting for? And they're like, just wait. Up until the whole walk, and I'm like, what?
How was the walk like? Did you like the playing and doing all the traditional?
The playing and all that was fun, but it was just hot. And me in that dress, because I was like, I'm done with this dress. And just to see yourself on a Saturday in that dress again, and then the makeup again, and then the styling again.
Did you go back again?
Yes.
Did you go back to have proper makeup now, or was it the same person that did the Thursday?
The same person. I actually just went for styling at the same lady that did it, and then when I finished, I just went to the same lady with the makeup, and then
Oh, so you had 2 looks. Okay, same look, but different days.
Yeah.
Huh.
A different styling though, because I like the second day styling was more nicer than
the
the
first.
initial
Oh,
day.
okay. But did you take pictures the second day at least? No, yes, maybe.
Not necessarily me,
Uh-huh.
but some of the guests that were there took
Okay.
some pictures, so we at least got some of those. But most of them are with friends, family, not us alone. Yeah.
Because I would think, because now that Saturday you had more time to do a lot of things. No, wasn't there still time?
I was just like, I initially didn't even want to go.
Okay.
But then he was like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, the uncle people prepared the things for us. And I'm just like, just getting in that dress again. Going for makeup. So I had to go back for styling.
Yeah.
So obviously this time, the reception was starting around 2. So now I had to go in the morning again, just to be on time. So it wasn't time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
I think I would have probably just, first of all, save prior to time, save enough money, and just prepare a proper reception for myself. Would have wanted that. And then secondly, do my hair prior the day before, and probably just do the styling and the makeup, which would not take so long, so that I can have enough time to just proper pictures that you can go take, just at the proper place as well, that you can have and show.
But you can do that now, you know that, right?
Yeah, now, but not in a wedding dress. I'm not gonna do that.
No, not necessarily a wedding dress. You could wear like a white, beautiful dress, make it, and take proper pictures.
Yeah, probably on our 10-year anniversary. We can do that.
Okay, it's in the card. What advice would you give to somebody that is getting married?
Really just sit down, think through it, and be really sure you really want to do it, and plan it.
What do you mean you really want to do it?
There are a lot of people who just, for now, you would find a lot of people who, because friends are getting married, who just go into it because maybe a family said, it's been long, and you find those that also say, we've been together for long. But that does not mean you probably wanted to be with that person, but just because of the timeline that you have given yourself, you find yourself just going into that. Like you said, what was the moment that you got to know that this is the person I want to be with? So you need to sit down and think, is this like your lifestyle, or the things that you want to be and who you are? Does this person complement you? Are you ready to do the forever with this person?
Because I mean, it's a life.
It's a lifetime. That people don't think. They think of the party, they think of the looks, they think of so and so got married, I can also do it. But then, are you ready now to take on whatever comes? Because it's forever. It's till death do us apart. So it's not a thing where you are just thinking of the moment where you want to look nice, dress nice, the pictures and all that. Those are just add-ons for the day. But then what follows afterwards? So it's sit down, really think about it. Do you really want to do it? And be sure about it, and then plan. Proper planning.
What is proper planning?
I mean, like, I know a lot of people like reception and all that. Then you find those that just want to do something big. Because number one, in the north, people are very competitive. So it's a thing where you're like, my neighbor at this wedding, ours should be bigger, but you're not initially sitting down and being realistic with yourself. Are we able to afford this? Is this something that I want? Is this something that I can afford? Am I gonna get in debt because of this? Because I'm not gonna please people.
Even taking out loans at
times. And also just thinking, okay, do we have what we need for when the wedding is done? Do we have a place? Do we have proper bed? Do we have just the essentials to really take it from there? Or are you just gonna be the outside? Let me just look nice. It doesn't matter what's gonna happen afterwards. That mindset is not.
That's not a nice place to be, or even start a relationship, marriage, because marriage is a lifetime. It's not just 2-3 years when you're like, I'm done, I'm going.
And that's what I'm saying, proper planning, because the thing is, when people plan, they are more focused on what's going to happen on the day. What do I feed the people? How will I look? What will people think? But at the end of the day, you are not thinking about bigger and other things that will help you think. But if I take out this loan, like if I want a reception, is it now really worth it for me to have like 100,000 really? 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 100,000 really $1,000 reception rather than maybe having the essential things, sorted out.
To go for marriage counseling before you got married?
Yes.
Or did you have somebody that was advising you in terms of?
So with us, the good thing is there's a bishop and then his wife. So the wife would now have a sit down and talk with the ladies. So at that, we were now advised. She will talk about things, even things that your parents won't tell you.
Yeah.
It was nice. Got to learn things and just see if you're also ready for this. If you want to be in it, or is it just a moment that you're thinking, I just want to get married, and then you feel good.
Well, the wedding day is just it's just a day.
Yes.
And then marriage is a lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have those talks and see, and like you said, sit and analyze and think to yourself and say, is this something that I really want?
Yeah. So she would ask also essential questions that will just help you think.
Yeah.
Like, are you ready for this? And then the person will be like, yeah, my dress is ready. But then she's like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Like afterwards,
Yes.
have you sorted the important things? So you get to think, there is, this is not actually the important, because most people will just see the day. They will just see what has happened there. But afterwards, you are left to the two of you to deal with each other. So yeah.
What's the one thing marriage has taught you about yourself?
That I actually am not so patient.
Aren't we
I thought I
all
was no, but at some point you find people that are just patient. Like my husband is just patient, guys. He's like nothing worries him, And then for me, maybe because in my mind I'm always cognizant and I'm cautious of everything.
Yeah.
So if I need to do something, I'm just thinking of that I need to do and accomplish it. But then now when something is just shifting that way, it's like I'm getting irritated very fast. So at some point I thought I was patient, because when you live with yourself, you think, I'm a very patient person. I can, take on anything. And when you are with colleagues, because it's colleagues, you can be patient.
It's not the same,
Up until there are even times that we'll be like, when we were dating, like, okay, let's meet at UN Park, or what is that? The park in Katatura.
Yeah.
So we'll be like, let's meet at a certain time.
UN Plaza.
I will go there. 10 minutes later, if he's not there, I've gone home. And then he's like, I'm here, where are you? I'm like, 10 minutes later. We agreed on a specific. So I'm so punctual. Okay. And he really, like I said, patient, does not worry about anything, not even about time.
Is that why you were so surprised he got there earlier than you? I'm laughing because you are the second person that is telling me that their significant other is a very punctual person. If they say 9 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock. So it's not like I'll come in, like that she was telling me when they were dating, if the husband at the time boyfriend would tell her that, no, I'll come pick you up at 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock, you know how we ladies are, you're still putting makeup. So the guy would leave and say, I told you 8 o'clock. So I'm like,
yeah, because the thing is, when I plan, that's why even people don't understand that when I say let's meet or let's do something, it's because I've already planned out a schedule for everything.
Okay.
So if I say we're gonna meet, in my mind I've already decided maximum 3 hours.
Yeah.
After that, I've already sorted something else. That's why even when I wake up, I time myself so much that 5 o'clock I should be in the shower. So it's not just a thing that you're like everywhere, because guys, if you don't respect time there, you will be everywhere, and then you're wondering time is going, you're just everywhere. So for me, your punctuality is a thing. It is a thing, because even when I go for interviews, I'll be there an hour before. And then the lady was asking, are we on time? Is it me? So yeah.
And how long are you married now?
7 years.
7 years.
For 8 in October.
Oh, so it's 8 years now, basically. So 8 years of marriage, how would you define love now? Is it the same as when you first met him? You know, when you met him in Walvish Bay? Is it the same? Would you define that kind of love as the love that you define now?
No.
Okay.
Because the love that you find before, it's like you saw features of the person, then few little things that you saw that you are liking, and you're like, yeah, this person. It's just that feeling that you have before you really get to know and live with the person. And then now the time that you're married and you're living with this person, you discover a lot of things about the person. The flaws that person has, the things that they do that irritate you. But then you're still like, I would still choose to do forever with this person. So it's more like your mind is more awake and you see the things and you still choose the person rather than when you are on feelings.
So you would say that love is to choose to be with the person knowing who they really are.
Exactly.
Knowing them in and out. Because 8 years is a long time to get to know somebody and still choose to be with that person. So that's how you would define love now. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it.
Because I always tell myself, you find people that just maybe get into it and then 2-3 months you see the flaws that you never saw because you never left with this person. And then you're like, this is not what I signed up for. And then you want to leave. And you have to ask yourself, but don't you think you also have flaws that he sees but he's willing to stay? So
true.
I'm just like, so if you don't choose to want to do this with this person, then that is really not love. I don't think so. That was you just wanting to entertain the feelings, and then later on when you saw, these feelings are not.
Because it's like how God loves us, right?
Yeah.
He sees our flaws, he sees the mistakes that we do, but yet he still loves us.
Exactly.
So who are we not to extend that same
love
to our spouses or our partners?
Our kids. They cry.
100%. What's the one thing that surprised you most about marriage?
You're becoming one in your mind, actually, because now you are used to also doing things the way you like them and the way you want. Now you have to constantly adjust into meeting each other halfway. Because the one thing, like with me and him, you're total opposite of certain things. Like I'm a night person. I'm a morning person. He's a night person. The one thing that irritates me is light. I cannot do light at all. So the first few years, you will preach. I cannot sleep in light. I cannot sleep in noise. Now he loves his music. So sometimes even when he puts on headsets, that music I can still hear. And when I hate
also you're a light sleeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at some point it took time, but then we both got to understand, okay, now he has adjusted to, okay, she doesn't like light. So let me switch off the light and then I go to the sitting room. So just because at first you're like, I like it this way and it should be this way. So you constantly have to, come to an understanding. So I was like, at some point I thought, me, come on, just do things for the next person. I didn't think I would be that person. But then you find yourself saying, if I really want to make it work, I have to break, my ego, my pride, and just allow things to be, because now it's not a thing of like, I want this person to make me happy, but you also want to make this person happy. So now you have to do things that will also be in his mind. You'll be like, oh, so she's thoughtful. She wants to, So,
it's compromise and it's for the greater good of your marriage. It's not just for you. Because when you get married, like you said, you become one, right? So when you do things you do for your marriage, you don't do it for me. I don't like my husband doesn't like light as well. He's like a light sleeper, like curtains, they should be like dark. And and me, I can sleep with the lights on. I can sleep with music. For me, if I'm tired, I'm just tired, I'm out. I don't care. For him, he's not. So now you have to find that balance, like you're saying. So I love it.
So it's more like people think it's bigger things that will not make it, but then it's the smallest things that are like, this thing. So it also brings out things that you never thought will irritate you, will be a thing. So you're like, oh, so this is what people go through.
Have you been to a Wamba wedding or Shawamba wedding now?
Not yet.
Not yet. You've never been to the north to attend a wedding. Why? 8 years.
Guys, first of all, I don't like traveling. If I do, it takes a lot from me. Secondly, as much as I'm outspoken and a people's person, I find it weird to go to people's places that I'm not used to. Of course, if it's the bride, but I'm not gonna be with the bride because now she's. And then now I have to try and be with people, and then I'm like cautious.
Your friends, your husband, no?
My husband, No one from the family at all.
Okay.
Got married. Yeah, during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So he also just been attending other people. So he would go
Mm-hmm.
attend other people's weddings.
Well, really, I would never think that you are an introvert. Can I say introvert? No, what's the word
I'm a
where people
mixture.
are introvert, extrovert? I
Mm.
would have never guessed that. There's a word. I was listening to a podcast.
Yeah, I was
There's a
also
word for it.
researching the other day, and I was like, I'm actually that, because I was telling people I am outspoken, but maybe till I get comfortable with
Yes.
you. But even when I get home, guys, I just want my space. I'm just quiet.
Yeah.
And then my husband's like, you're quiet. I'm like, yes, because this moment just requires me to be quiet. So I haven't been to a bamboo wedding. I'll get there one day.
One day.
One day.
No, I'm just asking. I asked because I wanted you to understand why they had to make you wait or make you walk, just to understand the thought or how it's really done in the north. Because you're married to a Vambu guy,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I'll get there one day. One day. I'm even supposed to go to 3 weddings this year to the north. I'll get there one day.
You get okay. Okay, we are hoping. Please come back and share your story.
Yes.
Literally, the whole podcast would be how Beaulah attended a wedding in the north experience.
Yes. Yeah.
And compare, not really compare. It's not the right word, but just see and. I think compare is the right word
Yeah,
to see.
compare it,
it with how you experienced it and
Versus,
what you
yeah.
saw. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best advice anybody has ever given to you that you live by?
Question is, have I received advice? Maybe because I read books.
Okay. Or
I
what
watch
book have you?
movies.
Yes.
And at some point, the one book that I love the most is The Power of a Praying Wife. It's a 3-in-1: Power of a Praying Woman and Power of a Praying.
I'm yet to read that book, hey? Like I'm yet to read it.
So for me, it's like if I have something that at that moment I need to go back to, then I would. So if I'm looking for something, I would rather go look for it.
Okay.
I'm now that person. That's why whatever it is at that moment that I want to, work on, whatever it is that because I'm, like I said, I'm self-cognizant and self-conscious about so many things that I would know that, oh, what you said to Pamela was not right. Maybe you need to go apologize. And then I'll go and apologize. And then if maybe I need a friend to just, talk to and say, oh, I'm feeling this way, or I did this and that. Do you think it was right? And then the person will tell you, no, you should go in. So I'm that person who would look for advice. Not necessarily that
But you go looking for advice for something specifically that you need
at that moment.
Okay.
So
friends that are thoughtful people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a friend that moved to Angola. We still communicate. We still catch up here and there to ask how's everything on that side. Then I have a friend. Surprisingly, when we became friend like sisters, we were not so much, buddy. We all just, and then all of a sudden we became good friends. So yeah, we do dates. We, birthdays. We are there for each other.
Beautiful.
If there's anything, show up for them. And then there's people that I know, people that I speak to. And then I'm that person, people's person.
You are. That's why I was so shocked. Like if somebody comes to you and tells you, "Oh, Pamela is an introvert," you're like, "Oh yeah, okay." But people will be like, "Are you sure we're talking about the same person?"
Because it's like it's that moment and it's that time.
Yeah.
It's like when we are there and the moment presents it and I'm comfortable with you.
Yeah.
That's why even when I start a new job or if I go to a place and I don't know people, I'll be that girl that will sit quietly and then observe and then until I'll be like, okay. Then once then I'm that person.
So you read the room before you are like, I'm here.
But then the one thing I would say is that when I was in grade 12, there was this teacher we had economics with. She was basically like a mother because she all the other teachers would be like, you guys are troublemakers. They will put you on the side, they don't want anything to do with troublemakers. And then we got that teacher, and then she's like, yeah. She started asking us, what do you guys want to become?
Yeah.
And for me, I don't even remember what I said I want to become. But then the boys would be like, no, I want to be a thug, I want to be a drug dealer, because initially you are being told you are the problem child, and then they didn't care. And at some point, as much as I was so naughty in school, she would take my hand and then advise me. I wouldn't even remember the advices, but I know because of her, I wanted to become something in life. So she would constantly say, you must think about your life, you must think about what you want to be, who you want to be. You can actually be good, you can be what you want to be, stuff like that. So she would always, after the sessions, call me and then we would sit. And then there was also one lecturer that one teacher back then that then drew a pyramid, and then she was like, you can see the biggest block, and then you see the top. The top, most of the students go to study further. And then you find those that are no on the bottom. She said those are the ones that will now want to go study, and then on the top, the few that will not make it to go study. But it doesn't mean your life is nothing. You can actually do something with it. And it's just like the top people start to look for a job because they couldn't make it to university. And then you would see that as much as the ones that went to university will think, I'm something, the ones that now went to look for a job got an experience, and that experience can take them far because they've learned things that the ones that are still in school have not learned. And I look back at my life and I'm like, as much as I wanted to go to tertiary and I couldn't make it at that time, I had to get a job. And today I'm really thankful because that experience plus what I'm now doing, my studies, they go hand in hand. And I'm like, nothing can hold me back, because now the others with degrees and all that, you find the company still, we need experience. You get. So I was like, yo, that was an advice that at that moment did not feel like it was good, it was worthy, because you were just like, but yes.
I think at some point we all had that one person that just made us realize. Can I ask something personal?
Yes.
Was there ever a time where somebody belittled you?
I think just growing up in a house where I'm actually adopted. So you grow up in that house where you are adopted, and then as time went by, I think from my grade 10, I started playing with my school. I wasn't now serious anymore. I didn't care. I didn't what.
Why is it though? Is it?
I think it was just a thing that you were like, you give so much, but it's like it's not appreciated. So at some point, you just start feeling, I'm not gonna do what I want. So, and then now I saw us playing with my school, and then you hear words like, you're gonna become nothing, you'll amount to nothing, and constantly you are being told that. But I'm so grateful for the mindset that I have, because the mindset that I have is one that says, I'm gonna prove that I will not become what you say. Rather, I'm gonna work hard, or I'm gonna work to change to be something that I can be. And I'm just thankful that I really met God, because He also got to show me that exactly what my mind was thinking, that you can be great. And with Him plus my mindset, I'm really actually one who doesn't care what people say anymore. Because I think that affected me so much that I was constantly being compared, and then you're constantly being told you are going to be nothing. But then now you can say, I'll move.
Yeah. I was about to ask how you overcame. I asked because so many people are living in their childhood traumas, and now it's they try to be somebody in life, but because of what they were told, they still, that voice is still in them, that they cannot amount to anything. They can't do. And I'm not even saying some people. That's how I grew up, actually. So, so that's how I'm like, oh, okay. So I just wanted to know how, if there was something, and how you overcame.
And I think it's also, like I said, I seek for things. I'm not the one who sits and wait around for things. So if there's a situation, if there's I would look for a book that will speak to whatever I'm going through, and look for a solution. I'll look, if I watch a movie, I'll be like, what is it speaking to me? Is it saying something to me? Or I will, when I speak to a friend, I want to hear, okay, is it something, are you helping me in this regard, or are you still also going to be one of those negative? Like, I can't deal with negativity. I don't do negativity. Even if a situation looks negative, I have to change it into positive and just make it so. I look for it. And I think that way also, and maybe coming to church and just having people to open and just get advice and just
get the help.
So I think that also helped. So constantly just telling yourself that I'm not there anymore, I don't live there anymore. Of course, as a child, I didn't have the power that I needed
Yeah.
to do what I needed to do. But
Mhm.
now that I've grown, there's so many things that you can do to get out of that. So shifting your mindset constantly will help you rather than wanting to dwell in it. Because when you want to dwell in it, you live into victimizing and saying, I'm the victim
100%,
all the time. So,
and if
yeah.
you are always in that mindset of being the victim, trust
Mm.
me, you will not go anywhere.
No one.
You will not go anywhere. And I love that you embraced it and you did something about it, and adding God on top of it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Viola.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to share your story with us, being here, honoring my invitation. Thank you so much for sharing your last story. I wish you and your husband a long life and a happy marriage. Um, yeah, and your daughter as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's one of a kind. She's one of
Handful.
a kind. But she's very matured for her age. That I should say.
Yeah.
Love that. It just shows the support system that she has behind her. Because we needed that when we were younger.
Yes.
But she already has that. It shows that the foundation, you guys are doing it right. You're doing it right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. So that would be it for today. Just lovely having her in the studio. We learned so much. And I'm sure that what she went through, or the experiences and things that she went through, could help one or two people out there. And thank you guys so much. See you next week. Ciao, ciao.